Time is not a friend. It's a prison. Every second pulls you further from what you love. But what if, just once, time let you go back? The screen is dark. A faint heartbeat echoes, steady but distant. Then, a single tick of a clock cuts through the silence. The sound repeats, faster, louder, until it fills the air like the rhythm of fate. Out of the blackness, a silver mist begins to swirl, curling like smoke, stretching into shapes of places we cannot fully see. They appear, then fade rolling green hills, a candle-lit stone chamber, and the shadow of a figure standing alone in the mist. Nothing lingers long enough to be certain, but everything feels familiar, as if the past itself is whispering to us. The voice begins low, steady, weighted with memory. Time never forgets. It binds us, it tests us, and it takes more than it gives. As the words echo, the mist clears to reveal flashes of stone standing tall against a storm-filled sky. Lightning strikes, and for a split second, we see a hand press against the ancient stones. The image cuts away before we can see more, leaving only the trembling air where it once was. The screen shudders with the sound of wind rushing through valleys. A journal's pages flip open in the darkness. The pages are blank at first, then ink bleeds through like blood, forming scattered words. Love, loss, return. The words drip, smudge, then vanish as quickly as they appeared. The voice returns, softer this time, filled with longing. Every moment lived becomes a memory. Every memory becomes a chain. And still, we are pulled back. The music swells, haunting, slow strings that rise like breath. Shadows of lovers locked in an embrace flash across the screen, but their faces are blurred, hidden from view. A single candle flickers, then is snuffed out. Darkness returns, suddenly, silence. Only the faint drip of water on stone. A single line whispers through the emptiness, what waits in the past. Refuses to stay there. The screen fades to black, and only the sound of the ticking clock remains. The ticking clock fades, replaced by the rush of wind. A storm builds, the sky turning darker with every beat of thunder. The sound is sharp, electric, like the air itself is alive. Out of the shadows, the mist from before breaks apart, torn by sudden flashes of light. Images begin to rise, quick, sharp, and unfinished like fragments of a dream you cannot hold on to. The first glimpse is of a battlefield. Mud splashes under heavy boots, swords clash in the distance, and a single banner tears against the wind. The camera never lingers, only a heartbeat, then gone. A second flash, hands intertwined, desperate, pulling together as if to never let go. The image shatters into smoke, replaced by a burning letter on a wooden table. The inked words vanish in the fire before they can be read, leaving only ash and the echo of voices lost to time. The music grows louder. Strings and drums weaving together in a rhythm that feels both urgent and fateful. The voice returns, no longer soft but edged with warning. The past does not stay buried. It bleeds into the future, demanding its due. As the words hang heavy, a candle-lit chamber appears. Stone walls close in, and the shadow of a figure moves across the floor, slow, deliberate, as though carrying the weight of secrets untold. A storm lashes against the glass of an old window. The sound of the rain drowns into silence, replaced by the soft echo of a heartbeat again. A face almost comes into view, but not fully. Only the curve of a jaw, the blur of an eye, the suggestion of someone reaching forward. Their hand presses into the mist, but the mist resists, pulling back, refusing to let them cross. The screen flickers with images again, a broken sword left in the dirt, a woman running across a field of heather with her skirts heavy in the wind, a child's laugh echoing faintly as if carried from another century. Each vision is gone before the mind can grasp it. Each feels like a memory half forgotten, half remembered, blurring the line between what was and what is to come. The voice deepens now, stronger, as if speaking not only to the characters but to us. The choices of yesterday shape the battles of tomorrow, and the heart cannot escape what it has sworn to keep. The final word echoes, and with it the sound of chains rattling in the dark. Suddenly, the images become faster waves crashing against jagged rocks. A pistol fired in the night, a pair of eyes filled with tears, lightning splitting the sky. The music reaches a frantic height, and then everything stops. One single sound remains, the whisper of breath, heavy, pained, yet alive. In that silence, a single line drops like thunder. What was once healed may be broken again. The screen falls into blackness once more, leaving only the faint echo of the storm. Asterisk. The silence does not last. A low hum rises, like the sound of a distant drumbeat echoing across centuries. Then slowly, deliberately, a single heartbeat grows louder, thudding against the darkness. The mist curls back into view, but this time it moves like it has purpose, as though it knows where it wants to lead. Out of that swirling haze comes a hand, trembling, reaching. But before it can touch, another hand appears just out of reach. Fingers stretch, desperate, but the space between them is endless. They are close enough to feel each other's presence. Yet too far to ever meet. The voice enters again, softer now, filled with sorrow but burning with hope. When time pulls you apart, can love bring you home? The words linger, floating in the air, heavy with meaning. The music shifts, a single violin carrying the weight of grief and longing. The bow draws across the strings with aching slowness, every note falling like a tear. Suddenly, flashes cut through the quiet moments, caught like lightning, the scream of battle. Sparks flying from clashing steel, the desperate cry of someone calling a name lost in the storm. The screen flashes to another glimpse, a letter dropped in the dirt, rain soaking its words until they blur into nothing. The voice grows sharper, insistent. What do we sacrifice when we choose love over time? A slow-motion moment appears, two figures running toward one another, arms stretched, the world blurring around them. But before they collide, the vision fractures like glass, shattering into 1,000 shards that fall into the void. Each shard reflects another moment, a kiss stolen under firelight, a child's cry in the distance, the strike of a sword, the quiet of an empty bed. Each fragment twists, breaks, and vanishes. The music begins to climb, strings weaving tighter, the tempo quickening. The imagery accelerates with it, storm clouds rolling across endless skies, doors slamming shut in stone halls, blood dripping slowly onto old wood. Then silence again, broken by a whisper. Is love strong enough to cross the centuries? Or will time demand its price? From the silence emerges a single candle. Its flame is small, fragile, trembling against the dark. A hand reaches to protect it, shielding it from the storm. For a moment, the light steadies. The voice speaks one final time in this section, heavy with both warning and promise. The heart remembers. Even when the world forgets, the flame suddenly blows out. Darkness swallows everything. The only thing left is the faint echo of two words layered in breath. Find me. And then black. Nothing but the sound of the heartbeat, fading, until it is nearly gone. Asterisk, the heartbeat from before slows, steady but faint, like the last drum before silence. Out of the black, a faint golden glow begins to pulse. At first it seems like dawn breaking, but as it sharpens, it reveals not a sunrise but fire. Flames stretch upward, devouring pages of an open book. The words curl and blacken, turning into smoke that rises into the air, swirling into shapes, faces, places, fragments of time before breaking apart. The screen blurs as the smoke twists into a storm. Lightning tears it open, and in that flash we see two figures standing apart, each framed by different worlds. One is surrounded by stone, old and unyielding. The other, by steel and shadow, the future pressing in around them. They see each other. They know each other. But the storm between them roars louder, breaking their connection. A sudden silence falls. Then a single line, clear, sharp, certain, cuts through the void. The final chapter begins. The words are not shouted. They are whispered, but the weight of them feels like thunder. As they echo, the music shifts into a rising march, deep drums, soaring strings, voices faintly chanting in the distance. As if calling across centuries. Images surge again, faster now, no longer careful glimpses but roaring waves of memory and fate. A sword raised high, blood staining the edge. A woman's cry breaking in the dark. Hands clasped, pulling each other against the flow of time. A clock shattering into pieces, its gears scattering like stars. Each flash is brighter, sharper, overwhelming. The sound of chains snapping fills the air. For a moment, silence. Then, a heartbeat returns louder, stronger than before, shaking the darkness. The screen fills with the image of ancient stones standing tall in a storm. Lightning strikes, illuminating them like sentinels of time itself. The voice returns, low and final, carrying a promise and a warning. Once more, the stones will call. Once more, the past and future will collide. And this time, there will be no turning back. The music surges to its highest point, a swell that seems to stretch beyond the frame itself. As it reaches its peak, the screen goes black silent for one heartbeat, then explodes with the title card. Outlander, Season 8, the letters blaze across the screen, silver light against endless night. Below them, a final phrase fades in. Coming soon, the sound of the ticking clock returns. Faint at first, then louder, faster until it suddenly stops.